A cold wind moved across the old railway platform as Adrian arrived in the forgotten town of Aveline Ridge, a place that always felt suspended between past and present. He came because of a single envelope, yellowed edges, no return name, and inside it, a letter written by a girl who disappeared 20 years ago. The letter wasn't meant for him, yet it reached his mailbox as if guided by something unseen. The handwriting was elegant, trembling, filled with unfinished longing, and it ended with a line that refused to leave his mind. "If anyone finds this, please help me come home." He stepped through the quiet streets where time seemed to walk slower, where windows looked out like old memories still waiting to be acknowledged. A soft unease crept into his chest. He didn't know Aveline, never heard of her, never met her, but her words whispered to him as if she was standing right beside his shoulder. When he reached the town's forgotten library, dust floated in the stale air. Pages slept under years of silence, and at the very back shelf, he found something impossible, another letter with the same handwriting. Already waiting for him. It felt deliberate. It felt like she knew he would come. The second letter spoke of someone she loved deeply, someone she was afraid of losing, someone she trusted with her whole heart, but it also carried the weight of a secret she wasn't allowed to say. A secret that could shatter everything. Adrian's pulse quickened as he read, feeling a strange connection tightening around him, pulling him deeper. He didn't know why, but every word felt like it was meant for him. Like the past was reaching out, begging to be heard. As he left the library, a flicker of movement caught his eye, a figure at the end of the fog-covered street. A silhouette. Still. Watching. When Adrian blinked, the figure was gone, but a chill crawled down his spine as if someone had breathed across the back of his neck. He kept walking, clutching the letters like fragile threads, tying him to a girl who shouldn't matter but somehow already did. The deeper he stepped into the town, the heavier the air became, carrying whispers of rumors no one dared to repeat, and a tragedy people preferred to forget. But Adrian had already crossed a line. The mystery had chosen him, and if you're still here, listening, follow along, because what's coming next will change everything. As the sun dipped behind the hills, Adrian approached the abandoned house where Aveline was last seen. The paint peeled like old memories, windows broken like promises, and inside, the air held the faint scent of lavender and dust. On a cracked table lay a music box, still open, still playing a melody far too gentle for a house filled with ghosts. The music stopped the moment he touched it, as if recognizing him, as if waiting. Then he noticed another letter hidden underneath the box, addressed this time to Imbai. Name. Adrian stared at the letter, his hands trembling as if time itself had slipped. There was no way Aveline knew him. She vanished long before he was born. Yet her words seemed to shape themselves around his existence, speaking to him like a memory he had forgotten. The letter warned him not to trust the silence of the town. Someone was hiding something. Someone didn't want her truth uncovered. And someone was still watching. Outside, the fog thickened, swallowing sound, swallowing breath. Every step Adrian took echoed too loudly, like someone walked behind him, matching his pace. He turned nothing, but the air felt wrong, heavy, waiting. When he reached the town square, old posters fluttered in the wind, faces faded, dates blurred, but one stood out, a missing poster. Her missing poster. Aveline's gaze held a soft sadness, like she knew she wouldn't return. As he traced her picture with his eyes, the ground beneath him trembled with footsteps. A woman approached, elderly, hair silver, eyes sharp as broken glass. "You shouldn't be reading those letters," she whispered. "That girl." She didn't disappear. She was taken. Adrian's heart stumbled. Before he could ask more, the woman pressed a necklace into his palm, a locket, then vanished into the fog as if swallowed by it. He opened the locket. Inside, a tiny picture of Aveline, Anbisi. A picture of a boy who looked disturbingly familiar. Too familiar. His breath stole itself away as a realization struck him. He looked like the boy. Was it coincidence? Was it impossible? Or was there something about his past he didn't know? He rushed toward the riverbank where the old woman had pointed earlier. The water glimmered under the pale moonlight, revealing footprints along the mud fresh, delicate, barefoot. No one should have been there. Not tonight. Not in that cold. As the water rippled, he heard a faint hum, a melody. The same melody from the abandoned house. Someone was singing it. Soft. Sad. Calling him. He followed the sound into the forest, where trees bent like guardians holding their breath. The deeper he walked, the more the air felt alive, vibrating with memories. Someone moved between the trees, someone wearing a white dress, half hidden, half glowing. Adrian froze. The figure turned slightly, as if waiting for him to take one more step. But before he could reach her, a voice behind him whispered, "Stop, or you'll disappear just like she did." He spun around. No one. The forest went silent. Even the wind held its breath. As he stood there, caught between fear and truth, the music box melody hummed from somewhere very close. And in that haunting moment, he knew something unmistakable. Aveline wasn't gone. She was trapped, and someone didn't want her found. The air in the forest twisted with the weight of secrets as Adrian moved deeper, following the disappearing trail of footprints. Something inside him insisted he keep going. Something inside him felt connected to her in ways he couldn't understand. Every step carried a pull, like an invisible thread binding his heart to hers. The trees parted suddenly, revealing a forgotten cabin hidden under years of moss and silence. Its windows glowed faintly, though no lamp burned inside. He pushed the door. It creaked like an old breath awakening. Inside, time stood, frozen paper scattered, teacups untouched, a single chair overturned as if someone left in a hurry. There, on the floor, lay a torn journal page. He lifted it gently. Aveline's handwriting again, but this time it told the truth. I wasn't running from the town. I was running from him. I loved him once, before I learned what he was hiding. Adrian's pulse echoed like thunder in his ears. Him. Who was him? A lover, a friend, or the boy in the locket who resembled Adrian so closely? Thunder cracked outside. The cabin lights flickered, though no electricity remained. And then, the door slammed shut on its own. Adrian turned sharply and saw her Aveline, standing behind him. Pale, soft, too real, too unreal. Her eyes carried sorrow older than the wind. She stepped closer as the floorboards whispered beneath her bare feet. She reached for him, her fingers cold as river water touched his cheek, but her voice trembled like sunlight trying to break through clouds. You came? You really came, she whispered. I didn't think anyone would follow the letters. His breath shook. What happened to you? Her gaze dropped. I trusted someone I loved, and he took everything from me. The cabin darkened. Shadows twisted. Her voice cracked with a memory she couldn't escape. He tried to hide me, lock me away. And when I fought back, he made sure I vanished. Adrian felt a chill deeper than fear. Who was he? Aveline's eyes lifted slowly, filled with sadness and recognition. My brother. The world tilted. Her brother? Same boy from the locket. The same face that mirrored Adrian. The truth hit him like a storm. Adrian wasn't a random stranger. He was connected by blood. The letters weren't accidents. They were calls for help, sent through the only family she had left. Before he could speak, the cabin trembled violently. The walls bent inward. Shadows surged forward as if alive. Aveline's eyes widened in terror. He's still here, she whispered. He never left. A thunderous crash shook the cabin open as a dark figure emerged from the shadows, hollow-eyed, a face fractured by guilt and madness. The brother, half man, half memory. His voice scraped like broken stone. You should have stayed away. Adrian, the shadows lunged. The wind howled, and everything collapsed into darkness. When Adrian opened his eyes, He lay at the riverbank. Dawn, rising, the forest still. Aveline, standing beside him, glowing, faintly. Hintly. She knelt and touched his hand, her smile soft as morning light. "You freed me," she whispered. "You broke the cycle he trapped me in." Adrian's eyes burned. "Will I ever see you again?" She shook her head. "Sadness, warm and beautiful. Not in this world. But you gave me peace. And now my story won't be forgotten." The wind carried her away like a final breath, dissolving into golden dust that shimmered in the new sun. Adrian stood alone, holding the last letter she placed in his hand. A goodbye. "I thank you. I thank you." And a reminder that even lost souls can find their way home. If someone is willing to listen, if you felt this journey, follow for the next one, because some stories don't end. They lead you to the next mystery.